A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. Today, let us start with the headline, the front page of the Hindu paper. What is the headline? South's share of Lok Sabha seats will not be affected by delimitation, a statement given by Mr. Shah. There is a first one. Now, if you ask a question, sir, what is there to learn from this headline? Nothing much. South's share, here South, apostrophe S. When you see the apostrophe, you should recollect the rule. What are the important rules? One, we should not use any apostrophe or we should not use a possessive case with things or objects. In some exams they've given the table's legs are very short. Wrong. The legs of the table are very short. We should not use a possessive case. That means apostrophe S with things. But English has rules, English has exceptions. If a particular thing or object, English people attributed the gender, then we can use. For example, nature is considered feminine gender. There we can say nature's beauty. Death is considered masculine gender. There we can say waiting for the death's call. Exceptions are there. That you should recollect. Lok Sabha seats will not be affected. There are two words affected. One, will. You should recollect the rule that goes with lion's share, you can say, Pravalika, very good. And ship is considered feminine, very good, Shrikant. When you see will, you have to recollect the rule that goes with all the future tenses. What is that rule? We use will or shall with first person singular and plural, and with other pronouns we use only will, we should not use shall. That you should recollect as a smart learner. And many of our students know affected, effected, affect, effect. Affect is a verb, it's a regular verb, it takes ed. And effect can be a noun, can be a verb. Usually it is a noun, but sometimes it is used as a verb. Let us go to the snippet over here. Constitute a PAC to examine CAG report Congress. Constitute, an important word. Here constitute means a form. Form something. Constitute. And based on that, you should recollect constituency. Imagine someone is contesting from a particular area. That is known as a constituency. A related word you should recollect. Otherwise, simple words. Let us see if there is something this side. Here we have government opposes plea to ban convicted politicians for life. Government opposes plea, one word, to ban convicted politicians for life. Means forever. And what is the meaning of the word plea? Plea is a legal term and it means to request, to urge, plea. And you should recollect the word plead. Very good. Pravalika again. And ban convicted politicians. The moment you see the word convict, you should recollect. First, imagine someone files a case in a court. Then the person who files a case is known as plaintiff. And the other person has to defend, we use the word defendant. And the whole process is called trial. First hearing, second hearing. And after some time, or during the process, they produce evidence. False evidence sometimes. Then what is the word? Alibi. And also if the person has not committed crime, we use innocent and that person will be acquitted. A person has committed crime, we use the word guilty, that person will be convicted. And convict can be a verb, can be a noun. As a verb, we say convict. As a noun, we say convict. He is a convict. Spelling is the same, but pronunciation changes. Coming to the next snippet over here, violence in Jharkhand over Mahashivratri. Simple words, violence where in Jharkhand, regarding what? Over Mahashivratri. Nothing to learn as such. Trump plans to sue media using unnamed sources. Here we have an important word, though it's a legal word. Trump has been in the limelight ever since he became the president of the US for good reasons as well as bad reasons. And here he wants to sue the media. When you see the word sue, means file a case against the media. And when you see the word media, you should become alert as a smart learner. Usually people think medium, singular, media, plural. Many of you know that. But plural of medium can also be mediums. Many people don't know that. Usually they think only media. No, mediums. But when do we use the word mediums? Imagine you are talking about plant tissue culture. You are growing the plants in a small glass thing that is known as petri dish. And while growing, to grow them, you need the medium. Usually the medium is agar agar. And if you are talking about the plural of that, then we should use the word mediums. Otherwise, generally medium singular, media plural. And here we have another unfortunate snippet that deals with an unfortunate incident. Military jet crash kills 46 in Sudan residential area. Jet crash kills how many people? 46 people got killed. Unfortunate incident. And when you see the word crash, plane crash, jet crash, you should think of debris, wreckage. You should also think of ship wreckage. And when you think of the word ship, you should recollect words like capsize, turn upside down, turn turtle. All these you should. And when the small parts get scattered, what is the word we use? Debris. The last letter S is silent. And again, we have a beautiful pic every day to begin the day. You see the front page of the Hindu paper. You see a pic that usually reflects Indian culture, a diversity of Indian culture, a rich cultural heritage. And this pic talks about, you can see thousands of people. And grand finale, how do you pronounce this word? Finale, grand finale. Yesterday it was Shivaratri. On the eve of Shivaratri, Mahashivratri, a lot of people thronged the Sangam, the confluence. Confluence means where things get united. Three rivers unite. That place is called confluence and Sangam. Grand finale, spiritual journey. When you see the word spiritual, you should think of broadly. If you look at the world, we have the West, we have the East. Western culture is known as Occidental culture. Eastern culture is known as Oriental culture. Occidental culture or Western culture is materialistic. On the other hand, Eastern culture or spiritual, it is more spiritual. Eastern or Oriental culture is spiritual. So here we are all spiritual people, majority. Spiritual journey. Devotees gather at the Triveni Sangam to take a holy dip on Mahashivratri, making the culmination, an important word. What is the meaning of culmination? The final thing. Final stage, we say culmination. Culmination of what? Of the 45-day Mahakumbh in Prayagraj on Wednesday. R.V. Murthy, the reporter. And it is about that thing. Yesterday was the last day, culmination of Kumbh, Mahakumbh. Let us go, that's all from today's front page of the editorial. Let us go to editorial analysis. You should recollect words like very good, Chandu Naik, peak, pinnacle, zenith, apex, all these words, summit, all related words you should recollect. When you respond, when you enter the synonyms, antonyms, I appreciate that. It shows that you're alert, you're sharp, and also when you do that, in a way you're trying to consolidate your vocabulary. That helps in the long run. Apex quote, yes, who is this Shrikant? As usual, you learn all these things. Let us, before I go to the editorial analysis, let me tell you one thing. Today's editorial, a lot of words are there, 10 plus words, and I brought 8 or 8 plus. So I may spend a lot of time on vocabulary today. Some important words are there. Let us see the very first one we haven't got in the recent past. Blight. Have you heard of this any time? Please respond. A person who has botany background says, yes, sir. Exactly. Naidu Paidi, very good. It goes with potato. Potato, blight. It goes with, there's a branch botany if you take pathology, and it deals with the diseases of plants. They know this, but otherwise not possible. Blight, part of speech, it can be a noun, can be a verb. Meaning, as a noun, a thing that spoils or damages something. It has a negative connotation. Blight is a negative word. Chances are less. I expect no from you, but 1 or 2 students have said yes. As a verb, to cause harm or damage to something. Look at the example. The persistent drought was a blight on the agricultural sector. Here it has not been used literally. Literally, it means some sort of disease, you can say, but something that ruins or spoils. Yes, Murli, ruins. Mar also you can think. Word forms blighted, it's a regular verb as a verb. Blighting also ing form. Word combinations urban blight, economic blight, blight on society. But only a few use these. Usually it goes with botany. And outside that subject, rarely it is used, perhaps in the newspaper. Word usage often used to describe disease in plants, as I said. What does it go with? Literally, it goes with diseases in plants, plant pathology, or metaphorically for destruction, something negative. Synonyms, plague, an important word. Tell me why is it important? Curse, an important word. Bane, affliction. All the four words are important from bank exams point of view. First, why is it important? Already someone has responded. Who is this? Naidu. Very good. When you see the word plague as a smart learner, you have to recollect 5 diseases. Plague, flu, measles, mumps, rickets. Why should you recollect? All these diseases take the definite article the. The plague, the flu, the measles, the rickets, the mumps. Curse goes with everyday English. And when you see the word boon, bane, you have to recollect the word boon. Boon or bane. Today you may get a question, descriptive English. Artificial intelligence, is it a boon or a bane? Boon means something positive and bane means something negative. Affliction is nothing but causing pain. Antonyms, blessing, boon. See, it is here. Boon or bane, advantage. The very first word is an important word, so is the second one. But second one goes more with the geology and geography. Contours. What does it mean? Part of speech noun, here it is in the plural form, meaning the shape or outline of something, especially a natural feature. As I said, it goes with geology, it goes with rocks, it goes with geography, landscapes. The outline of a landscape, we use the word contour. Contour. Example, the contours of the mountain, see, I said, were visible against even the evening sky. Word forms contoured, contouring as a verb, as a past form, a regular verb. Word combinations, facial contours, it also goes with the outline of the face, facial features. Map, it goes with obviously map, body contours, map contours, outlines. Word usage, as I said, used in geography, art, and design. First and foremost, geography, then art and design. Synonyms, outline, shape, form, profile. Antonyms are disorganization, shapelessness. There is no shape, there is no outline, that is opposite. Contour lines. That's right. Vishnu, very good. Seepage we got yesterday, part of speech noun, meaning. The slow escape of liquid or gas through small holes or porous material. Pores mean small holes. Through porous material, through holes, water comes out or spreads out or oozes out. We use the word seepage. You can use a simple word like leakage. Example, the seepage of water weakened the foundation of the building, obviously. Word forms, seep, seeping. Word combinations, as I said, it goes with water, it goes with oil, and slow seepage. Usually seepage is slow. In my opinion, it is a redundancy. Word usage commonly used in environmental and construction contexts. Synonyms, leakage, infiltration, percolation. These 2 words are important. But infiltration has a negative context. Infiltrators. So what is the meaning of infiltration? It happens along the border. And some people try to enter from one country to another country along the border, through the border. Then we use the word infiltrators, infiltration. And it has a negative connotation. Percolation is a science term. Percolate means pass from one layer to another layer. Percolation. Antonyms, containment, retention. Contain. Contain has 2 different meanings. One meaning, what does it contain? Means you are talking about what does it have. But here contain means control, to a different meaning altogether. Ascertain, this is also an important word. Tomorrow, when you get the job, when you go to the workplace, at the workplace, this is used. And generally, we say ascertain the facts. So, what does it mean? Part of speech verb. To find out something with certainty. Ascertain the facts means confirm the facts, provide some proof that it's a fact. Example, the police tried to ascertain the cause of the accident. Means what? They wanted to decide, find out the reason behind the accident. Word forms ascertainable, ascertainment, noun form. Word combinations ascertain the facts, as I said. This is a typical expression you should remember. At the workplace, we say, someone says something, then we say, ascertain the facts. Ascertain the truth. Facts, truth, obviously can interchange. Ascertain the cause, use an important combination. Word usage often used in formal or investigative context. Formal. Workplace is formal, obviously. When you talk about English, broadly, we have different types of English, but broadly, we have formal English, informal English. What is the difference between the two? Formal English, English used at the workplace, factory, office, company, and English used with elders and strangers. That is called formal English. Then comes the question, what is informal English? Informal English, English used with friends and members of family. That you should recollect. Synonyms determine, verify, confirm. Antonyms ignore, overlook, assume. Playbook. Have you heard of this any time? Please respond. Yes, Naidu. Ignore, bid, defiance, cold shoulder. That's an important idiom. Give someone a cold shoulder means what? When I went to the party, he gave me a cold shoulder. Means he ignored me. Playbook we haven't come across. We have got this for the first time. So you got to listen very carefully. Part of speech noun, meaning a set of strategies or plans used to achieve a goal. Imagine you have certain strategies. Imagine you have a plan. What are the words you have to think of? One roadmap, the other one blueprint. But here we are not talking about a plan, we are talking about the strategies. Strategies, plans also, but the focus should be on used to achieve a goal. And you have certain strategies that is known as a playbook. Example, the company followed a strict marketing playbook. Excuse me. The company followed what? A strict marketing playbook. Look at the combination. Marketing playbook. Here, marketing adjective, playbook noun to expand its business. Word forms no significant variations. At the most, you can say playbooks, but usually we don't use it in the plural form. Word combinations, political playbook, strategic playbook, corporate playbook. This sounds better. Marketing playbook, corporate playbook, they seem to be good. Ploy also you can say, but ploy has a negative connotation, Murli. Ploy also means a plan, but it has a negative connotation. Ploy goes more with a plan to do something negative. Word usage common in business, sports, and politics. Words synonyms: strategy, guide, blueprint. Antonyms: improvisation, spontaneity. More than improvisation, spontaneous. You don't have a plan as such. Spontaneously, you try to do something. It is a better word. Stranded. Does it sound familiar? If you remember COVID-19 lockdown, at the time of lockdown, all the newspapers, they would use cunning plan, Madhavi, very good, ploy. At the time of COVID-19, at the time of lockdown, this word was in the limelight. All the newspapers would use this word, and they would use this with migrant workers. Migrant workers got stranded, a typical sentence they would use quite often. What does it mean? Part of speech adjective. Meaning, left in a helpless or difficult situation. I will give a better example. Get stranded means, imagine you went to a village and your four-wheeler car, bike car, your car, they were broke down over there and no mechanics. Then you had to leave the car and you had to walk all the way back. Then, or you had to stay there for some time. Then you say, I got stranded in the village. I got stranded in the village. That's a typical combination. Example, the travelers were stranded at the airport due to the heavy snowfall. See, usually it goes with stranded at some place. Is not it travelers? What does it mean? Word forms strand, stranding, stranded. It's a regular verb. Word combinations stranded passengers, stranded at. It takes a preposition at sea, at the airport, without help, obviously. Word usage often used in travel or survival context. Synonyms marooned, an important word. Abandoned, different meaning. Stuck, better. Abandon means to leave someone, abandon someone, desert someone. Both the words you should recollect. Stuck, to get marooned. That's an important word. And bank exams have given the word maroon many a time. Antonyms rescued, liberated, free. Not exactly, in a way. Muck. Have you heard of this muck? We all know the word mud, but here what is the word muck? Part of speech. It can be a noun, it can be a verb, but usually used as a noun, meaning noun, dirt, mud, or filth. Filth means a dirt, filthy, dirty. But English is a funny language. When someone is very rich, what do we say? Pravalika has come up with that. Filthy rich means what? Very rich. We also use the word stink, bad smell. Someone is very rich, we say stinking rich. Meaning changes, very rich, stinking rich, filthy rich, you should recollect. As a verb to clean or remove dirt. Example, the heavy rains left a thick layer of muck on the roads. That's what happens. Word forms mucky. Generally, we don't use this, mucky. Have you heard of that form any time? I doubt. Mucked. As a verb also, past form we don't use. As I said, it is used as a noun. Word combinations covered in muck, muck up, clear the muck. Word usage often used in agriculture and construction. Construction. What is the context? What is the editorial about today's editorial? The collapse of the tunnel. And there they use this one. Synonyms dirt, sludge, an important word, filth, important word. Antonyms cleanliness, purity. When you see the word clean, you should recollect construction. Wonderful, Vishnu. You should recollect everything is in proper order. Then what is the idiom? Apple pie order. Have you heard of this any time? Everything is in apple pie order. We also use another idiom. Everything is spick and span. So what are the two idioms they have given in SBI many a time? One apple pie order, the other one spick and span. Both you should. Let us go to the next one. Gush. Gush goes with water, blood. Usually blood and also water. Part of speech, noun or verb, meaning to flow out in large quantities suddenly. A sudden and strong flow of liquid. But here you have to recollect another word. What is the other word you should? Ooze. O-O-Z-E. What is the difference between ooze and gush? Ooze also coming out, but slowly. Imagine there's a well. Then water comes out slowly. That is oozing of water. But gush means suddenly it comes out. Then we say gush. Part of speech, noun or verb. Example, blood, as I said, it goes with blood. Blood gushed from the wound. Imagine I got a cut. From the cut, suddenly the blood starts coming out. Then we say the blood gushed from the cut. Word forms gushing, gushed. It's a regular verb. Word combinations, gush of water. Sometimes emotions also. Rarely, gush of emotions means Many emotions come out suddenly. Word usage used for liquids or emotions. Emotions rare. Synonyms, spurt, an important word. And now our students know the word surge. I don't have to tell. Antonyms, trickle, drip, seep. Trickle. Water drops fall, then we say trickle. And drip also. Both can be used, and both the words go with everyday English. Seep already we have got. I guess that is the last one. One more is there. Torrential, an important word. And you should know torrential, part of speech adjective, general combination, usual combination. Torrential rains means what? Heavy rains. Part of speech adjective meaning very heavy or violent, especially rain. The village was flooded due to torrential rain. And when you see torrential rains, you should recollect the idiom to rain cats and dogs. To rain cats and dogs. Word forms torrent, noun, word combination, torrential downpour, torrential river, torrential flood. But generally it goes with rain, goes with downpour. Synonyms, heavy, intense, severe. Antonyms, light, drizzling, mild. Imagine only a few drops here and there. First one, shower. More drops, drizzle. More drops, rain. More heavy rain. And when you heavy rain, you can use downpour, rain in torrents, torrential rains, rain cats and dogs. All these you should recollect. That is the last one. Let us go to today's editorial. Today's editorial, lengthy one, it may take some time, but an important one. All of you remember, anything that goes with, anything that comes under, we can put the label disaster, mishap, calamity, catastrophe. You have to learn because you have to read. Because you come across the words, same words you come across, different disaster, but same words more or less. That way, very useful. Wreak havoc, water blight. Blight is a negative word, something that causes harm. Here, water blight. Problem because of water. Still, you cannot make out. Scientific risk assessment prior to undertaking tunnel work is a must. What is the subject here? Scientific risk assessment prior to. Very important exam point of view. Tell me why. Comparative adjectives like, there's a comparative adjective. Comparative adjectives like anterior, posterior, senior, junior, superior, inferior, elder, prior, and also preferable. And the verb prefer, take the preposition to. That combination, many a time they have given. Prior to, undertaking, tunnel work. Before undertaking tunnel work, scientific risk assessment is a must. Is a must. What does it mean? Must. Must has two functions. One, it is used to express a personal obligation or an obligation imposed by the speaker, in this context by the writer. And the other meaning, the function of must. It is used to convey the idea something is compulsory. Yes, mandatory. Main idea is crystal clear. But why should they come up with that statement? You should do something before doing something based on a particular incident. And last 3 days, we have got that as a front page main headline. Barely a week. When you see this word barely, it has 2 or 3 meanings, but you should recollect hardly, scarcely, barely. These words take the combination word when, and no sooner takes the word than. That you should recollect. Barely a week after the remains of 9 coal miners were recovered at the end of a 44-day operation from a coal mine that had flooded in Assam in early January, a disaster of similar contours, this time in Nagar Karnool, Telangana, is in the making. An important expression. Something is in the making. What does it mean? Slowly it is happening. In the making, an important expression. So what does it say? Recently. Recently in the sense Jan, this is what Feb, last month. So recently. But when you see the word recently, I have used the word recently. You should recollect we use the present perfect tense to express recently completed actions with the word just. He has just come. She has just left. That you should recollect. Barely a week after the remains of means they died, dead bodies. What is the other word? Corpses. Remains of 9 coal miners were recovered at the end of a 44-day operation from a coal mine that had flooded past perfect. First it had flooded, then they recovered the dead bodies. First action past perfect, second action past tense. In Assam in early January, a disaster of similar contours means similar nature, this time in Nagar Karnool, Telangana, is in the making. The editorial feels something like that is going to happen sooner or later. A portion of the Srisailam left bank canal tunnel, which is under construction, collapsed on February 22nd, leaving 8 workers trapped. There were 100 plus workers, but many of them escaped. They could escape. 8 got trapped. Still, the operation is going on. What is known so far is that a 3-meter section of the roof collapsed due to water seepage. What is the information they have at hand, at the fingertips? Who is this Shrikant? What do you want? Mention properly. What is this PPT? You mean to say? Okay, you are talking about the tense, present perfect tense. Fine, good, I appreciate that. What is known so far is that a 3-meter section of the roof collapsed due to water seepage. The roof collapsed. What is the reason behind? Water seepage. And many people escaped, but 8 people got trapped. The roof collapse eventually led to the tunnel crumbling over a stretch of 8 meters. Because the roof collapsed, the tunnel crumbled. Crumbled means to come into pieces. Crumbling over a stretch of a length of 8 meters. Perhaps these 8 workers got trapped over there. Despite 9 specialized rescue teams, how many rescue teams? 9. Not a small number. Despite, you have to recollect, what is a common error? Despite of is right or wrong? It is wrong. After despite, we should not use a preposition of. And when you write in spite of, you should write as 3 separate words, not 2 words. In spite of. Despite 9 specialized rescue teams drawn from the center and the state governments working round the clock. An important expression. Work round the clock means what? 24 into 7, around the clock. No significant progress has been made so far. I always tell students when you see the certain phrases, you should be able to guess so far, what does it mean from the past to the present. Then we should use present perfect tense. Here it has been used, has been made, but it is in passive voice. No significant progress has been made so far on ascertaining the condition of the workers. We don't know what exactly their status is. And in devising an optimal rescue plan, we don't know what exactly they're going to come up to save or rescue those 8 workers. So far, the playbook that is being experimented with, which tense is that? Present continuous, active voice or passive voice, with seems to be inspired by the successful rescue work in Silkyara tunnel collapse in Uttarkashi, Uttarakhand in November 2023. And 2023 something happened in Uttarakhand. They used a particular thing and they're trying to use the same thing. The playbook that is being experimented with seems to be inspired by. They're trying to use a playbook. What is the inspiration behind? Inspired by the successful rescue work in Silkyara tunnel collapse in Uttarkashi, Uttarakhand in November 2023, where a portion of the 4-kilometer long tunnel that was being constructed collapsed. Their 4-kilometer long tunnel got collapsed, stranding 41 workers. And that time 41 workers got stranded, but they were rescued based on the playbook. They are trying to use the same playbook here. It took a 16-day operation that started out with a variety of approaches, including drilling horizontally and later on vertically from both ends of the tunnel to reach the stranded workers. So how could they do that? The editorial is trying to give us some information. In the end, key breakthroughs were achieved by a team of rat hole miners from Assam. If you go to Meghalaya, that side, Assam, Northeast, mining is there as an industry, and they resort to a different approach. What is that approach? And they try to make small holes, and that is known as rat hole approach, rat hole miners from Assam, who use manual excavation methods that are considered hazardous and deemed illegal. This rat hole mining is illegal, it seems, and it is hazardous. What is the meaning of hazardous? Dangerous. And when you see the word breakthrough, very good. Who is that? You should recollect. Madhavi, good. A major breakthrough, wrong. Breakthrough itself is major. A redundancy, major breakthrough. The key difference between the Silkyara episode and the one in Srisailam is the presence of water. There, water was not present. Here, water is there. That is a difference. There were 70 workers in the tunnel. I think not 100 plus 70. There were 70 workers in the tunnel when a deluge of water, an important word, deluge. Deluge means a huge water. It also goes with the synonym of floods. Inundation, floods, deluge, all related words. Deluge of water and muck suddenly began to gush inside. Barring the 8, the rest escaped. So out of 70, 62 could escape. 8 got trapped. Barring the 8, not considering the 8, the rest escaped, with 13 of them sustaining injuries. Sustain has many meanings. Here, sustain means endure. Endure means what? To experience. And sustain, a typical meaning, maintain. Sustainable goals, using the resources wisely. Sustaining injuries means enduring injuries. However, in the subsequent days, it is a torrential flow that has proved to be a barrier to rescue operations. Initially, it was not that difficult, perhaps, but later something else came into and created a problem. What is that? It is a torrential flow that has proved to be a barrier to rescue operations. Flow of water not possible to rescue. The history of tunnel-linked disasters globally shows that while rare, they can often be catastrophic. If you look at the similar accidents or catastrophic events or disasters around the world, they are rare. But if at all, imagine they happen, they make a devastating impact, catastrophic, devastating. A large proportion of these accidents, studies show, are due to a rupture in aquifers. What exactly is the scientific reason behind these? It looks like a rupture in aquifers. Editorial itself gives a meaning. Aquifer means underground water channels. Underground water channels, they get ruptured, then water starts seeping. It is to determine such risks that extensive studies are commissioned to understand the subsurface geology of a site. To understand these risks, definitely scientific teams are required, and they are commissioned, studies are commissioned to understand the subsurface geology. Surface geology, below, down, subsurface geology of a site. A report by the Uttarakhand Disaster Management Authority on the Silkyara episode says that there was insufficient analysis of the rock formations at Silkyara, but also that a complete picture of structural deformities cannot be known before tunneling. What happened that time? What was the reason? Two reasons. One, insufficient analysis, one thing, of the rock formations. Another dimension, it is not easy to get complete information regarding structural deformities of the rock area or that particular region. Not easy. Cannot be known before tunneling. Only when you start tunneling, you come to know. How does it end? While the rescue of the trapped personnel at the Srisailam tunnel is paramount. Paramount is an important word. Do you guys know the meaning of that? Paramount means very important. Paramount, very important. What is important here? Rescuing them. While the rescue of the trapped personnel at the Srisailam tunnel is paramount, there has to be a proper investigation by the authorities on the reasons for the collapse and action taken. What are the reasons for the collapse and what action has been done? Investigation should be done. If evidence emerges of tardy pre-tunneling analysis, tardy means very slow, very slow. Pre-tunneling analysis, they should look into that also. That's all about today's editorial, an important one. Any disaster, definitely you can get as a passage, and more or less similar words you come across, similar idioms you come across. That way helps. Try to answer these questions based on your comprehension skill. What major factor differentiates the Srisailam tunnel disaster from the Silkyara tunnel collapse? One particular difference, you have already answered before I could read. The length of the tunnel, no. The presence of water inside the tunnel. They do not have this problem. No water, but here water is there. That makes a difference. Good. Within no time. Which type of miners played a crucial role in the rescue of workers in the Silkyara tunnel collapse? Second one, also easy to answer. Rat hole miners from Assam. Easy to remember, rat hole miners. From where? From Assam. What has been the major hindrance in the rescue operations at the Srisailam tunnel? Major hindrance. When you see the word hindrance, bottleneck, hurdle, impediment, all these words you should recollect. Lack of rescue teams? No. Limited access to advanced machinery? No. The continuous inflow of water and muck, gushing of water and muck, major hurdle or major impediment, hindrance. According to studies, what is one of the most common causes of tunnel-linked disasters globally? Globally, common factor, one of the reasons, one of the most common causes of tunnel-linked disasters. Structural fatigue due to excessive drilling? No. Explosions? No. A rupture in underground water channels. Underground water channels are known as what? Aquifers. That is the reason. C is the answer. What does the editorial suggest regarding pre-tunneling risk assessment? Before tunneling, one has to assess. What does the editorial suggest? It is unnecessary? No. It should involve thorough subsurface geological studies, seems right. Only historical data should be used? No. Risk assessment should be conducted after tunneling begins? No. So what is the answer here? B. Very good. What is the editorial stance on the Srisailam tunnel incident? Regarding this incident, what is the stand taken by the editorial? It is a routine accident? No. It highlights the need for better scientific risk assessments before tunnel work. Should be banned in India? No. Praises? No. Answer is what? Before conducting tunnel work, they should go in for assessment, proper assessment, scientific risk assessments. Prerequisite. Now questions based on mini mocks. First one deals with correct sentence. You see 4 sentences. One is correct. Identify the grammatically correct sentence. Oh, within no time, Naidu says 1B. The Kerala government has spacing grammatically wrong. The Kerala government is spacing seems okay, present continuous tense. The Kerala government have facing grammatically wrong. The Kerala government was spaced grammatically wrong. So what seems to be the correct sentence? He got it right. B. The Kerala government is facing criticism for its perceived inability to manage wildlife. Filler, read the sentence and try to choose the appropriate word. Snake bites, which account for 75% of wildlife-related deaths, have from 113 to in 2012 to 34. Means went down. Fallen, fell, fall, falling. Here, then you have to use past participle form. And which tense is that? Present perfect tense. Have fallen. A. Word usage. Select the option where the word perceived is correctly used. Perceive, to observe, to feel. What is the answer? You should recollect. Fall, fell, fallen, fell, felled, felled. Very good. Who is this? Shrikant. He perceived his friend to be lying even though there was no proof. The government was perceived and knew wrong. She was perceived a cake. The students perceived their exams no. So what is the answer here? Very good. Pravalika. A is the answer. He perceived his friend to be lying. He observed his friend to be lying even though there was no proof. It is perception. One more question on filler. Habitat fragmentation has human-wildlife conflict, pushing animals into human settlements. First, you try to answer. See, I usually tell students 90% candidates a question like this, or any filler for that matter, they look at this and they tell themselves, okay, has is there, we should use verb past participle form. But here all the verbs are in past participle form. Then it doesn't help. Always remember, proficiency in English is important. Here, if you know the context, you understand the context, you know the meanings of all the options, then you can choose. Here, has what? Exacerbated, a negative word, made worse, seems okay. Decreased, no. Alleviated, no. Mitigated, no. So, what is the answer here? Exacerbated means context is king. Very good, Naidu. I appreciate that. You're not the king, I'm not the king. Who is the king? Context is the king. Match the words and meanings. We have only three. Complacency, a feeling of self-satisfaction leading to inaction. Adept, skilled, skillful or highly proficient. And feral, uncontrolled and wild. So which option says that? A3, B1, and C2. Answer is C. Good. You guys got it right. Choose a sentence where culling is used correctly. She was culling through old books ridiculous. The culling of trees not correct. He was culling his way through the crowd not correct. The government has authorized the culling of wild boars damaging farmland. This is perfect. Answer is A. Kill animals or remove animals when the number grows. Imagine a particular species proliferates, means multiplies, and it goes beyond a limit. Then government deliberately, intentionally tries to kill. That is known as culling. I think you did not attend the session yesterday. We got this yesterday. I gave the meaning. Now one more question based on error location. The government's decision to emphasize participatory forest and wildlife management is a step in the right direction. Oh, Manisha, first one to answer. B, what is wrong with B? Very good. Here we cannot use the word form emphasis. We have to say emphasize. Bank exams, SSC, quite often they ask questions based on word forms. A right word, a wrong form. Emphasis, noun. Emphasize, verb. Emphatic, adjective. Here we cannot use the word form emphasis. We have to use the government's decision to emphasize participatory forest and wildlife management is a step in the right direction. Good, you guys got it right. That's all for today. I hope you have got enriched and work on important words, work on new words. We have got a few new words. After the session, all correct answers, Manisha, very good. Today is your day. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.